Today I'm breaking down what industry insiders are calling the biggest shakeup to air travel in the past 50 years.
New airport rules plan to get rid of boarding passes and check in and go fully digital. The way it works, passengers would download a biometric passport on their phone, drop off their luggage, and go through security after a face scan. Then you'd board the plane without showing your ticket or a passport at all.
The International Civil Aviation Organization, which is the UN body that's responsible for airline policy, is rolling out a dramatic overhaul that will make boarding passes and flight check-in completely obsolete within the next 3 years. Instead of the current system where you check in 24 hours before your flight online and then get issued a boarding pass with a barcode, you'll soon download what's called a Journey Pass to your phone at the time of booking your flight. This Journey Pass, which let's hope they come up with a better name when they actually launch it, is a digital travel credential that will store all of your passport information and automatically update if any changes are made to your booking. It also saves you from having to remember to check in online or having to print a boarding pass before heading to the airport. But here's where it gets really interesting. You will be able to travel through airports using just your face for verification. No passport, no ID, no boarding pass. And this type of facial recognition goes beyond the face scanning that many of us have already experienced as you go to board a plane or enter the TSA line at major airports in the US. Instead of needing to manually check in online before your flight or at the airport check-in desk when you arrive, the airlines are going to be automatically alerted when you arrive at the airport as your face is going to be scanned. While it all sounds very sci-fi, this technology is coming fast. Probably even faster than we are ready for, which we will touch on later in this video as we dive into some of the pretty massive concerns. But first, let me walk you through exactly how this will work once the system is fully implemented, and you can let us know down in the comments how you feel about it. When you book a flight, you'll download your Journey Pass to your phone. You'll upload your passport information to this pass just once, and then it's going to be stored for future travel. When you do arrive at the airport on the day of your flight, facial recognition technology will scan your face at various checkpoints, including the bag drop, security checkpoint line, and the boarding gate. The system will recognize you and confirm that you're at the right place at the right time with no need to pull out a boarding pass or passport or any other form of ID. Apparently, the technology is going to be so advanced that if your flight is delayed or if you miss your connection, your Journey Pass is going to automatically update with your new flight details. You'll get a notification on your phone and you can simply head to the new gate, eliminating the need to visit a customer service desk or call the airline customer service hotline. I'm personally a little bit skeptical that all of this can roll out worldwide within the expected timeline. According to industry experts, this technology will begin rolling out in the next 2 to 3 years, with the International Civil Aviation Organization already finalizing the plans. To put that into perspective, the last upgrade of a similar scale was the adoption of e-ticketing in the early 2000s, so this represents a generational shift in air travel. The implementation requires significant infrastructure upgrades at airports worldwide, including facial recognition technology and mobile passport reading capabilities. While some airports are already testing components of this technology, full global adoption is expected by 2028, creating a completely new travel experience for passengers worldwide. If they can pull this off, that would be wild. Major hub airports like London Heathrow, Singapore Changi, and Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson are slated to implement the system first, with smaller regional airports following later on. There are some clear advantages to this new system. First, it should significantly speed up the airport experience. No more waiting in check-in lines or fumbling with IDs and boarding passes for a manual check at the security line. Second, it eliminates the anxiety of losing your boarding pass or having your phone die with your boarding pass on it at a critical moment, since your face is now your boarding pass. And third, it could make missed connections much less stressful. If your first flight is delayed, your Journey Pass would automatically update with your new connecting flight information. But there are downsides as well, starting with the most obvious: privacy concerns. Having your face scanned as you move through the airport and having your passport information stored digitally sounds like a potential privacy nightmare. The developers of this technology claim that they've addressed these concerns. According to Amadeus, which is one of the companies developing the system, passenger details are wiped within 15 seconds of each contact with a touch point, like the pre-security gates and the boarding gates. A touch point would be a place where they're scanning your face. This sounds promising, but the reality is that we hear about a new major data breach every month. So while the convenience factor is undeniable, do we want our biometric data used this extensively for travel? There's also the question of technology failures and glitches, like what happens when the facial recognition system doesn't recognize you, or it goes down entirely, or the technology rolling out at certain airports and not at others, causing a ton of confusion with how you travel. Regardless of our thoughts on it, this change is coming, and we probably aren't going to be able to stop it, so it's good to know that there are a few things you can do today to start to prepare. First, make sure that your passport is up to date, as it's going to be the foundation of your digital travel credential, or your Journey Pass, and you don't want to be caught in the backlog of people trying to renew their passports, similar to what we're seeing at the DMV offices as the Real ID deadline approaches. If you are concerned about privacy, you might want to start researching the opt-out options that will likely be available at least in the early stages of the implementation. It will likely be similar to how you can request a manual ID verification and a boarding pass scan, as opposed to using the face scanning technology when boarding flights from many major US airports today. I'd love to be able to give you more specific ways that you can prepare, but the reality is that while this transformation is happening incredibly fast, very few details have actually been released publicly. For real-time updates that I can't always get out fast enough here on YouTube, plus personal updates on my own travels, as well as tips and hacks that I don't share anywhere else. Make sure to sign up for my free weekly newsletter using the link in the video description. As more information becomes available, the newsletter is the first place that I'll be sharing it and breaking it down. Don't forget to let Ollie and I know what you think about this change down in the comment section, and then definitely hit that subscribe button to join us back here for new travel tips, hacks, and updates every single week. Bye.